German culture is really something else. I mean, I'm sure any culture you get to know a little bit about that's different from your own is going to seem a little interesting or strange to you. But German people are just downright funny sometimes, but really cool, good people. Kind of what I mean by this, stop being around the bush, is just the fact that they're really, really forward, honest people. If you approach someone on the street, you say like, "Hey, you want to talk about this?" or "Hey, can you this?" If you're trying to sell them something or tell them about something that they're not interested in, then they're just going to let you know right away. They're going to kind of be like, no time or no interest. They'll tell you straightforward what they're thinking. They won't beat around the bush and pretend to be interested in something they're not. That being said, they're also some of the most helpful people you'll meet. I can't even tell you how many stories I know about friends of mine that have either gotten lost somewhere in Germany or, I don't know, just had some kind of problem they needed help with, that German people were so eager and willing to jump up and help them with whatever they were doing. I personally have a story about people being incredibly helpful. One thing that happened to me one time is my friend and I were on a bus and we were trying to get to someone's house kind of out in the countryside, away from the main city where we lived. And normally we take this one certain bus that left from the train station from the same place, same time, every day. But this one day when we were trying to get to this guy's house, we were running behind schedule and we missed the bus that we needed. And so we were checking the schedule, looking for other buses that would go to this area. And we found another one that said it went to the same city that we needed to get to. So we hop on this bus and we're off. And we're driving, and we're kind of watching the stops to try and make sure that we're going to the right place. What we didn't realize was the city we were trying to get to had two portions. It was kind of divided into two suburbs, and they had two different names. And the guy we were trying to visit lived in the half with one name, and the bus we were on went to the other half. And so not only did we not realize we were going to the wrong half of the city, but because the bus stop only said the name of that suburb and didn't say the name of the city, we went right past it. We just stayed on that bus until after a while it started getting a little dark because we had left close to evening, and we kind of realized we missed our stop somewhere. I don't think we're going the right way. I think we're going the wrong way. And most of the people had gotten off the bus by this point, and we're getting pretty far out in the countryside where we're starting to pass through little tiny towns where you're not even sure if more than 10 people live there anymore because they're just kind of abandoned, empty-looking places. So we get up to the front of the bus and we ask the bus driver, "Hey, when are we getting to this city?" And he says, "That city? We passed that like 40 minutes ago. Where the heck were you guys?" And we're like, "Oh, we must have not heard it, I guess." He's like, "Well, you're in trouble because it's back there, so I don't know what to tell you." And we're like, "That's okay. We'll just stay on the bus till it turns around and goes back the other way, and we'll just go home." And the bus driver tells us, "You can't do that either because this bus doesn't go back. Like, the end of this route is my last stop for the night, and then I have to go park the bus and go home." And so we're like, then is there anywhere you could drop us off where there's a train station or some type of public transportation so we can make it back? Because we don't even know anyone who lives out here. We have no way of getting back home if we can't find a train or something. And he just tells us, nope, there's probably there's no trains either. The only thing you could maybe do is call a taxi. But let me tell you, so I'm not going to make you guys call a taxi because you're going to pay $50 to get back to the city. And looking at the two of you, you guys probably don't have $50. So at the end of the stop, end of the line, I inspect the bus, and I take it back, park it for the night, and then the city you were actually trying to get to is where I live, so I drive home in my car to that city. So what I'll do is you guys just stay on the bus when I take it back and park it, and I'll drive you over to the city, and then you just gotta find your way home from there. And he was just the nicest guy, super helpful. Like, if he hadn't done that, we probably would have spent the night in some forest somewhere. It was that kind of situation. And this guy was just so amazing. He made sure we were taken care of, where on our way back to the city, he made sure that we called people and had a way to get back home before he would leave us. He left us at a train stop. He made sure that we'd be able to make it to our apartment before he left. And that's just one example of how helpful Germans can be. They'll go out of their way to take care of you if they feel like you're a good person who's not trying to trick them or sell them something. And it's not just that way with strangers, but it's also that way with friends as well. Germans are just so ready to invest in people if they feel like they have a good reason to invest in you. And so that's just one of the really cool things about German culture.